So I just came across this, which I found quite interesting. One of these headlines is misleading, I think, because it says military bans DNA testing kits for soldiers. And I don't think they actually banned it in the end. I think it's a security concern, right? So I'm going to look at the one for the New York Times. So this was in December of 2019, and the Pentagon sent out a memo warning military personnel against at-home DNA tests from companies such as 23andMe and Ancestry. And the reason being that, bear with, I just so first paragraph, warning that they create security risks, are unreliable and could negatively affect service members' careers. Straight from the Pentagon's mouth, they're unreliable. What? We want to ensure all service members are aware of the risks of direct-to-consumer genetic testing. Over the past decade, millions of Americans have purchased DNA tests through companies such as 23andMe and Ancestry. And the spokesperson is Commander Robertson. So one concern is the unintentional discovery of markers that may affect readiness, could affect a service member's career, and the information from DTC genetic testing may disclose this information. No, let me read that whole paragraph. Commander Robertson said that the tests might provide inaccurate results and have negative professional consequences. For example, if you discovered something preparing for a medical, and you discovered a medical problem through that, it might be that test wasn't accurate in the first place. What the hell? Genetic tests have more serious employment implication for members of the military than the average office worker, said Frederick Bieber. Might have serious implications for the average office worker if they were to get accused of a quadruple homicide, or the average PhD student. So said Frederick Bieber, an associate professor of pathology at Harvard Medical School, who served as an Army Reserve officer at the DNA Identification Lab. I bet the military I just know that the military is involved in this in some way. Actually, I do know that to an extent, but I don't know to what extent at the moment. The Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act, known as GINA, prohibits discrimination by health insurers and employers based on the information that people carry in their genes. It does not apply to members of the military, however. The military can make decisions about operational readiness, Dr. Bieber said, whereas in the civilian world, there are prohibitions about it. The memo was written by Joseph D. Kernan, the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence, and James N. Stewart, the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Manpower. They warn that the tests could expose personal and genetic information and potentially, don't know I had trouble with that then, create unintended security consequences and increased risk to the joint force and mission. The memo does not get into what specifically these risks might be, and Commander Robertson declined to elaborate. In a statement, a spokeswoman from 23andMe said the company took great care to protect customers' privacy. Our FDA authorized health reports have been tested to be over 99% accurate, she said. All our testing is done in the US and we do not share information with third parties without separate, explicit consent from our customers. An Ancestry spokeswoman said that the military had not targeted military personnel with discounts. Ancestry does not share customer DNA data with insurers, employers, or third-party marketers, she added. The Pentagon does not advise against genetic testing altogether, but service members were encouraged to get genetic information from a licensed professional rather than a consumer product. What, don't we trust these companies? Well, let's hope we didn't use them then. Interesting, eh? Otherwise, you're going against what the Pentagon says. The Pentagon. However you want to say it. So, found that rather interesting. You heard it here first. The Pentagon is concerned about the reliability of 23andMe and Ancestry. What do they refer to as? Direct-to-consumer genetic testing.